Broncos country, let's ride. Broncos country, let's ride. Broncos country, let's ride.
I mean, it
Broncos
is
country.
only fitting that we get a little bit of Broncos country a day after the Broncos absolutely fucking sucked ass. I'm George Carmona, your host of Gridiron Junkeez. What the fuck is up? All right. So, as you can see from the intro, it was a field goal fest last night. There was field goals left and right. I think let's do the math here. There was 4 field goals kicked by the Colts, 3 kicked by the Broncos, 7 field goals total. Cameron, my fiance, as I was driving home, said, "Hey, I made a live play today. I made a live bet on the under." And I was like, great choice, right? 2 fucking shitty teams. The Colts can't ever seem to find like a quarterback that's like stable enough to get them to that next level. Carson Wentz, I guess, kind of fit that mold for a little bit, but Matt Ryan's not it. I mean, he looked atrocious last night. And the Broncos are the same old Broncos. Cameron put it in a live play. The over-under was 33.5 after about the first quarter. And this has never happened to me whenever I've bet an under, but she was rooting for touchdowns at the end. She was like, there was such a low-scoring game that even if both teams scored, she would still hit the over. Which, you know, I was like, babe, this never happened. So enjoy it, soak it up. She only put $5 down on it. But what a great way to enjoy that shitty fucking game. The Broncos and Russell Wilson are quite possibly the worst offense that I've ever seen. They don't seem to have any sort of buy-in to either the run game or the pass game. You are seeing Russell Wilson make mistakes that, to be honest, when you're this late in the game as a quarterback, like that last drive, that very last interception, that's an interception that like you'd see a fucking first or second year quarterback throw. I mean, the cornerback's playing soft off the back edge, right? You might not see him, but if you're making a blind throw, which he did, right? He wasn't looking at his defender, or he wasn't looking at the person he's going to throw to, turns back, makes a quick decision, blind throw, picked off. Like that's the type of shit that like, when you're on, and sometimes, you know, those tightly threaded passes that end up being touchdowns, and you're like, damn, that quarterback's a beast. Where you're like, really, dude, if that defender was fucking a half a second faster, your ass is picked off. And that's one of those situations where, you know, if that touchdown gets through, Russell Wilson looks like the hero. Oh my God, the Broncos are back. Instead, it doesn't happen. They go into overtime. And not only did they go into overtime, but they had an opportunity to fucking score, right? And that's like the worst part of the NFL overtime is sometimes you don't have that chance or that opportunity. But the Broncos get that opportunity. It's a 4th and 2. And instead of kicking the field goal, which, right, like they're going for the fucking win, they ran a shitty pass play and they lose the game. Broncos fans were out of that stadium like before overtime even started. They talked about it. Kirk Herbstreit, Amazon Prime is doing a phenomenal job of these drone shots outside of the stadium. As people were leaving, it's like a fucking cinematic pan of all the fucking orange jerseys flooding out. There was more booze coming out of that stadium last night than a fucking crazy Milwaukee bar, like after a Packers game, right? There's so many booze, so many fucking booze. It is a toilet bowl. I think the Broncos, with the opportunity to go 3-1 yesterday, are quite possibly what could have been the worst 3-1 team ever. They end up losing. They go to 2-3. They are just horrible, right? And you look at, I guess we're just going to focus on the bad teams today. One of the people I wanted to bring up was the Texans. The Houston Texans are 0-2-1 or 0-3-1 right now. They tied their first game of the season and they've dropped every other game. I pulled up the Texans schedule because I think the Texans are as equally as bad as the Broncos, if not worse. I don't think the Texans are slated to win a game for the next 8 weeks. I don't think they have any chance until they play the Commanders on November 20th. The Texans got the Jaguars, in which they're 7-point underdogs. I'm taking the Jaguars with the points. I think that Jaguars team is about to fucking wipe them. Then they got the Raiders, and I think the Raiders are better. I think they're going to figure it out a little bit more. Then they got the Titans, loss, Eagles, loss, Giants, loss, and then they play the Commanders. And I think this Houston Texan team has the possibility of only winning one game. And I think that is that Commanders game. And I hope they prove me wrong, but everything that I've seen from the Texans, from the Colts, from the Broncos this year have led me to believe that they are the bottom 3 in the fucking league. And it's tragic because everybody in Denver, when they signed that 200-something fucking ridiculous $1 million contract for Russell Wilson, they had a little bit of hope, man. How could you not have hope? But I think this goes to show, too, that you can't put all your eggs into one basket. You see Tom Brady, his entire career, he's never gotten a fucking maximum ridiculous contract. He understands football. Football is a 53-person game. So when Russell Wilson gets everything that the Broncos have, they don't have any funds to allocate for the positions that they truly need. And they're hurting just about in every which shape or form. And I think regardless of the players too, it comes to the coaching. I don't think that the Broncos are bought into Nathaniel Hackett whatsoever. And that's a detriment. There are some teams like the Texans, I do feel like they're bought into, I believe it's Lovie Smith is their coach. Or Lovie Smith is on the staff. The Houston Texans and the Broncos, just astonishing similarities. But let's go through the rest of the docket for this weekend. We don't have too many like barn burner must-watch games, but if I was to choose just one, I'm going to have to choose the Eagles versus the Cardinals. Now, you get an Eagles team coming in 4-0. An Eagles team hasn't been 4-0 in a very, very long time. And they're like riding too high, right? It's very, very difficult in this league to go undefeated. And whenever you do have that undefeated label or tag to you, teams tend to rise to the occasion and step up. J.J. Watt got his fucking heart shocked back into life last week, ends up getting the game-sealing deflection, which led to an interception. I think J.J. Watt goes off again this week. I think whatever they did to shock J.J. Watt's heart back into place, I think that is a super power that they gave him. They gave him the electricity that the Cardinals fucking need. As long as Kyler Murray doesn't throw interceptions, and this is probably going to happen, right? Kyler Murray, I don't know can you do a quick search for me and see if it's double XP weekend? Because Kyler in Call of Duty, it gets pretty, he doesn't play as well when Call of Duty double XP weekend's going up. I got Austin behind the deck searching whether or not that's happening. But I think that's our barn burner game of the week. At its best, this game is a high scoring affair. You're looking at 35, fucking 28. You might even get a team to score into the 40s. The Eagles put up points. They move the ball fast, but so do the Cardinals when they are playing effective. Now, Hollywood Brown, Zach Ertz, are they going to make the receptions and the plays needed to keep the Cardinals' drives moving on offense? That Eagles team preys on teams that lose momentum. You see it last week in that Jacksonville Jaguars game. The Jaguars were off to an extremely hot start, and they ended up fizzling out. And in that third and fourth quarter, you really saw the Eagles trounce on them, right? Anytime a team gives the Eagles any sort of lag, they step on it. So if the Cardinals don't have any lag, then chances are they might win. Now, is there a double XP weekend?
No, the last one just ended yesterday on the 6th.
Okay, so if it just ended yesterday,
he wasn't watching film.
He wasn't watching film leading up to this week, but then now you got to think he's just dialed in. There's nothing else in Kyler Murray's world, right? He is just dialed into what he gets paid millions of dollars to do. Now, it's going to get really interesting when FaZe also signs him and he has to like make a choice and a decision, right? Like,
they're going to sign him?
FaZe?
Yeah.
Yeah. FaZe is going to sign him. Why wouldn't they?
Is he even good at Call of Duty?
It's the name. LeBron James' son is on FaZe. You think he's good?
He might actually be living in the shadow of his dad. He might have to actually be good at something.
I gotta be good at video games. My God, my dad's a superstar. I want to be as good as him one day. Oh. Anyways, the Eagles Cardinals game should be electric. I myself am like on a vendetta against the fucking Eagles right now. I'm like, am I going to be the person to predict when they fall first? Well, I'm going to fucking predict it every week until they do fall. The Eagles are going down this week. I think the Cardinals strap it on, right? They're playing in Phoenix. Kyler, watch some film. I really want to see a couple of Kyler Murray highlight plays out of this game. Let's transition now to, I guess, what some people can consider like, the battle of the AFC. That's between Joe Burrow and the Bengals versus LaMarvelous Jackson and the Ravens. LaMarvelous, if you guys are checking out the shorts and the clips, LaMarvelous clip came out today with Dante Hagler. What a perfect way to describe the fucking MVP of this league. Lamar Jackson is doing everything correctly. He has not missed a note. He's like that pianist that's playing at a fucking Italian restaurant on a Wednesday night, right? He just doesn't miss a note. And you're like, why isn't this guy performing with fucking, Frank Sinatra, all right? But turns out because he's dead. With that being said, I think the Bengals are going to put up a way bigger fight in this game than most people think. I think this is low scoring. I think this is a last possession type game. The Ravens are an aggressive team. They always have been. I would like to see the Ravens go for it late on fourth down sometime in this game and really like prove themselves correctly. Like they've been hindered these past couple of weeks being as aggressive as a team as they've been. They haven't got it, but it doesn't stop the fucking dog that's in the Harborough family to call for those 4th and 5. Let's run it down somebody's fucking throat. The Ravens, I'm planning on taking them throughout the remainder of this year. They're the one bird team that I'm like, I like those birds. I like the Ravens. Falcons, not a good bird team. Eagles, mild bird team. Name me another bird team. Cardinals, mild bird team.
Falcons.
I said the Falcons. They're poo-poo birds. They're pigeons.
Seahawks.
Seahawks are like the seagulls, like the ones that just poop on the boardwalk. I don't think there's any other bird teams. Yeah, no. But the Ravens are the best bird team. Black bird, big black bird, scary. All right, like you see a raven flying when you're driving into any sort of place. You either know an animal's dead, or there's a haunted house within 5 miles. One of those two. Moving on to the game that's happening tonight. I know I've been bouncing around, ladies and gentlemen. It's been a wild week. I guess let me finish with telling you about the San Jose State UNLV game. But before that, I do have to just say I'm very, very appreciative that we hit 2,000 YouTube subscribers. 2,000 fucking people watched the short that I had with Cisco. Actually, 1 million, like 1.5 million people watch it on YouTube. They subscribed. If you're coming back and you're watching the show, understand that I get fueled by you guys continuing to subscribe, liking the content, following on Instagram. We got to pump up our Instagram numbers right now. We're low on the follower count. Gridiron Junkeez on Instagram. TikTok is still doing relatively well. I had the big boost at the beginning, but I would like to get to 10,000 TikTok followers soon. The season's not even halfway over, and I've hit my end of the year goals. So like now I don't even know what the fuck to do. Austin, I literally thought I was going to end this season maybe with 100 subs. Now that I've hit 2,000, like what's the fucking goal for the end of the season?
Monetization.
Monetization. That means you motherfuckers got to watch. Open up an extra tab, watch it at the
kid's
same time.
iPad.
All the fucking iPads in the house. Watch Gridiron Junkeez. Help me get the watch hours. All that being said, thank you. San Jose State versus UNLV tonight. My brother is playing for a chance to be in first place in the Mountain West Conference. They're playing my alma mater, UNLV. It's a tough game for me. This is the second time he's played them, so I've gotten to experience this vibe twice. It is it's interesting that the way that time moves and it evolves. UNLV was dog shit while I was there. They were so fucking bad.
Maybe it's because you were there.
I could not stand like saying that I was a part of like those shitty years. Like I really just don't like it. Like UNLV played, we were winning 1 to 2 games a year. We were losing to teams that we shouldn't have lost to. We had the hopes of all these new facilities and all these fucking things. Didn't happen. Boom, out of nowhere, facility goes up, new coach, new uniforms. Bada
Raiders
bing,
come to town.
Bada bing, bada boom, Allegiant Stadium. Okay, we're not playing in fucking Sam Boyd, which is the equivalent to like middle of nowhere car derby type place where you just see fucking cars going crash into each other. That's where UNLV played, at Sam Boyd.
Yeah.
Monster truck rally type
Yeah,
fucking
absolutely. Where else would you want to play?
It was horrible. Now, Allegiant, the Death Star, beautiful. UNLV is fucking electric for the first time in a long time. But I'm not just saying this because my brother plays for San Jose State, but I do think the Spartans are the better team here solely defensively. Their defense, the San Jose State Spartan defense, they have like 4 D linemen that I shit you not will at least get like a tryout, be a practice squad player for the NFL. These guys come off the ball fast. They're doing it often. They're not a D line that fucking attacks you hard once and then takes the rest of the fucking drive off. No. These are 4 fucking dogs that are going after what will be UNLV's quarterback Brumfield all night long. I think UNLV being that they like to throw the ball deep, right? They're a team that is like screens, RPOs, and if we can take the deep shot, right? I've seen them favor the deep shot a lot, but I don't think that option's here tonight. If that screen game's off and that Spartan defense is flying from sideline to sideline, I think San Jose State handles this. I don't think it's by 6.5, which is what the line stated. The line was 6.5. UNLV was the underdog. So the Spartans being a fucking 6.5 point favorite to me kind of scares me, even though they've played well this year. It scares me because I know how good UNLV is. I would either take UNLV plus 6.5 or I would take the Spartans money line. That will make you some money. I do hope that you guys have a very, very, very financially successful weekend. I have not had one of these sports betting wise. I wish the greatest, and I hope it starts off with you betting San Jose State versus UNLV tonight at 8. Now, will that probably happen? No, because this episode came out fucking after the game even started. But if you made that bet because you sent me an Instagram message, shout out to Ian Rebel, you actually Instagram messaged me about this game, I will fucking chit chat with you guys. So don't think that option's not open. My name is George Carmona. This is Gridiron Junkeez. I love you all. Austin, I love you especially because you fucking put all this shit together to engineer this show today. We got Malijah shadowing. He's a new fucking intern here at Sticky Paws. He's going to be doing big things soon. I really, really am appreciative of everybody. And now let's get the fuck out of here. Run that music, baby.